Hello, good morning, everyone. So my name is Shawn from Pastry Group HR department. So today we're gonna do a seminar regarding how to use the web forms, how to use Authentisign electronic signing system, how to use the new added function to upload listings or change listing details and change listing status or even clone listings on the MLS system, and also how to use the transaction desk to report your transaction documents to our news department. So we're gonna cover these basic functions and updates with everyone today. And before we start, I believe most of you guys have already received a message from Authentisign or Toronto Real Estate Board says starting from July 1st this year, Authentisign is not going to be available free to use on the MLS system, but please ignore that message you received from Authentisign or from Toronto Real Estate Board, because Pastry Group and our suburb brokerages, we have the full package from Transaction Desk, so we are not going to be affected by this. So all of our agents can still use Authentisign on the web form system free of charge. So you don't have to worry about this. So we can continue using Authentisign on the web form system for free after July 1st. Okay, Pastry Group and our suburb brokerages won't be affected by this. And let's go to the first topic. How to use web forms and how to log in and change your web forms system layout. So first, we have two ways to log into our web form system. The first one, we can actually go to the MLS system. On the homepage, you can see the web form Authentisign icon right here, which can just click on it, and they're going to transfer us to the web form system like this. The second way for us to log into web forms, we can just, all right. So you don't necessarily need to log into MLS first to log into web forms. You can actually go to webforms.realtorlink.ca, and on the top you can see a sign in button. You can click on sign in and choose the board you are with, like Toronto Real Estate Board, and your username gonna be your board membership number, for example. And the password, the default password gonna be the first letter of your first name and your last name. Okay, so if you haven't changed your password on Realtor Link or on the MLS My Profile before, then your default password gonna be the first letter of your first name and your last name. Okay, for example. And this will also log into the web form system directly. So you got two ways to log into MLS. First, the web forms. First way, log into MLS first, then click on web form Authentisign, then you can log in. Or you can go to webforms.realtorlink.ca and sign in with your local board number, and the password is default as the first letter of your first name and your last name. Okay, all right. Back to the MLS homepage. If we roll down a little bit, we can see a video center right here. And here we can click on more videos here, and we can see the basic training videos provided by Toronto Real Estate Board here, like professional developments, We can see the sky slope trainings, ROM, others, matrix, web form, Authentisign, Stratus, and some other related topics. So after today's training, if you have some questions about how to use the web form or Authentisign, you can come here, click on web form Authentisign. So here we'll have the English version of basic trainings about how to use the web form system. Okay. Right, back to the web form. All right, so after we log in, we can see the member dashboard right here. And the basic layout is like what I'm showing on the screen right now. We have transactions, we have Authentisign, emails, upload, transactions, requested documents review, rejected documents review right here. If you don't like the layout here, we can click on the log button on the right top of the screen right now, and you can see a function bar right here. So we can actually change the layout, whatever we want to do here, like make it smaller or bigger, or delete the original one and drag the other one we want to the bottom if we like. For example, I want a checklist from here. I can just drag it to the bottom and you can see the checklist will be here. We can make it smaller or bigger if we like, just like this, okay? But most of the time, we don't need to change the layout for the member dashboard. So I'm gonna log it back. We're gonna change the member dashboard like this. So we probably have some other transactions we have already created under the transaction box. So I'll open a random one. Then we will be in the transaction dashboard for this transaction. So we probably need to change the layout of this page to make the page more like convenient to use. So we can click on the log button and we can see the function icons right here. So for example, I'm going to remove everything we have at the bottom here. Remove all of them. Okay, now we can only see the blue and green function icons in the function bar here. The blue ones, most of the time, we don't need to use it because it's already on the left side of the screen here. And the green ones, most time we will need it. So probably we can just drag overview to the bottom, contacts, checklist. Checklist is where we support, where we upload transaction documents to our deals department. Authentisign, the electronic signing portal. Forms, so forms is where we generate our transaction documents. Documents, so all the related documents regarding this transaction, we can upload those documents to the documents bar right here, okay? And also, if we use electronic signing system Authentisign to sign any documents, the signed documents will be automatically uploaded to documents here as well, okay? And then we can change the layout a little bit. Normally, I put detail overview at the first, forms, second, documents, the third one. The second row, I put the Authentisign, and checklist, and contacts. Yeah, maximum you can put 6 function boxes here in the middle at the bottom. So after you finish the setup, you can click on log again to log it back. And the layout of the transaction dashboard will be always like this. If you want to change it in the future, you can always click on log to change it at any time. Okay. So that's how to change the layout of member dashboard and transaction dashboard. Okay. How to use transaction, how to use web forms to create transaction case, how to apply our templates to do your transaction documents. Okay, I will make 2 examples. So first, let's go back to the member dashboard page by clicking on the left top, the meter icon right here. So we can see a create transaction icon right here. I'm gonna make two examples. The first one is an example about creating a transaction kit for a listing. The second sample I'm gonna make is create a transaction for uh, uh, like a as a co-op end to buy or lease a property. Okay, so first we're gonna do a sample about how to create a transaction to listing a property for sale. So normally, after we click on create transaction, there will be a pop-up window. We can put the address of the property in the names, for example, 90 and down present. And then we can select the templates. So Base3 Group, we provide 11 transaction templates here. So make sure when you created your transaction kit, apply our templates. So it will be easier. You don't need to find all the forms by yourself. All the forms and documents will be there in the templates already. So for example, this time we're doing a listing for sale. So I'm gonna click on the first one, listing for sale, freehold. And make sure you don't select anything on the import data. This is optional, okay? Because the listing is not on the MIS system yet. So you don't have the MIS number for this new listing yet, right? So for example, like if I click on Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, select on source, freehold property, and now it's asking me for the MIS number, but I don't have it, right? If I want to click on create, the system gonna tell me that this field is required. I need to input the MIS number, but I don't have it, right? So I cannot process. So make sure for the import data section, click on just select source. So do not select anything on this, all right? And then we can click on create. And the system gonna help us to create a transaction kit. So it's gonna jump to the wither detail page, step 1 of 5. So you can input the information about the property right here, or you can input everything on the forms directly. So the first page is just address informations, property informations. Second page is transaction dates. Third page is contacts. Fourth page is forms that already contained in our templates, documents that already contained in our templates. And okay, now we are on the transaction dashboard. Okay, and then we can start to generate our transaction documents. Okay, that's how to apply our templates to create a transaction kits for listing. Okay. Right. So we'll make another example about how to create a transaction kit for buying or co-op. So it will be easier for us to find the listing first on the MIS system. And then on the listing information sheet, we can click on the Webform Authentisign icon on top of the listing information sheet to create transaction kits. For example, I will just find a random listing. And I will go to the listing information sheet right here. If we are on the listing information sheet, we can see a Webform Authentisign icon on top of the listing information sheet right here. Okay, and we can click on Webform Authentisign directly on here, and that's gonna transfer me to the Webform system, and the pop-up window for create transaction will be automatically pop up right here. So the good thing is I don't need to input the address anymore, and the MIS number will be there already because I click on Webform Authentisign from the listing information sheet. And then click, make sure you select the templates. Like this time we use a buying freehold, so buying freehold and create. Okay, now we have applied the templates for buying freehold to create our transaction. If we forgot to apply the templates while we created our transaction, after we go to the transaction dashboard, on the top right, there's a menu function, and we can see there's apply templates function right here as well. So we can still apply the templates we have right here if we forgot to apply the templates when we created the transaction case. Okay. Let's see what's next. Okay, so back to Webforms. On the left bar, there's a setup icon right here. In setup, we can see transaction templates. After we click on transaction templates, we can see the 11 transaction templates created by Pastry Group and shared to all of our agents right here. If you wanted to create your own templates, you can add templates right here as well. For example, I'm gonna create a template. I'll put the name as testing templates. And I can select on types, for example, residential cell, and save. So in this way, we can actually create our own templates. System is a bit slow right now, sorry about it. Okay, now we are in the transaction templates page that we have just created. Basically, we need to add some documents in the documents folder, for example, like transaction summaries, Schedule Bs, or anything related regarding this type of transaction. If you need it, you can add documents from here. Like add documents, and I can select the documents from my local computer and upload the documents there. Okay, for example, I just put a random documents there. Just 1 second, please. Sorry, it looks like it's stucking right here. I will just click on close. It's just showing you how to upload documents here. Okay, I'll just click on cancel. Okay, and then we can add forms in here. So now it's empty. For example, I'm gonna add some forms in it. Like I want to add agreement of the buyer representative agreement in there. So I can click on that, and I can add it there. And you can see on the forms, the buyer's representative agreement are there already. You can add another forms in there. For example, like agreement of purchase and sell. So I just search by the number and add. Okay. So now in my templates and the forms, there are 2 forms added there already. And I can open the forms I already created. Okay. And I can enter whatever I want to put in the templates. So most of the case, we will need to add some clauses and conditions in the Schedule A page. So you can add whatever you want to put there, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, whatever. It's just an example. Okay. Then I can save it. Okay. And now I can go back to the member dashboard, try if the transaction templates we just created, if it's working. Okay. Now I can create a transaction. Templates, and you can see there's one additional template we just created showing in templates here. Testing templates. And I'm gonna use this template to create my transaction kit. Save and exit. So after we use our templates, you can see the two forms we pre-input in the forms is here already. If I open the agreement of person sell residential, I roll down to the schedule page, which I entered something there. You can see the pre-entered clauses are there already. So in this way, you can create your own templates if you like. Okay. Delete this one. And back to transaction templates. Now we can see there's one template we just created here, right? So there's another easier way to create transaction templates right here. So I'm gonna delete one we just created. For example, I like the basic group templates. Only like when I'm using it, I always need to add some additional clauses on it, right? Or some additional forms on it, which I don't like, right? So I can basically copy the templates created by basic group and do some edit on it. So for example, I like this buying freehold templates. On the right top, the menu page, I can click on copy in it, and I can rename this testing buying freehold. Okay. Now at the bottom, we can see the new templates we just duplicated from the existing templates here. Okay. And we can open it. Okay. You can see the transaction summary documents is there already. The forms from the original templates is here already. So for example, I want to add some additional forms in it. Like in the templates we provided, there's no fulfillment documents. There's no waiver, right? I want to put a waiver in it. Okay, so for example, I would select waiver 1, 2, 3. So, and I can add additional forms like a fulfillment amendment, maybe. To 0. Okay. And now from the templates, I just duplicated from the original one. I can add some additionals on it. And the same way, I can open like a agreement of person sell. Because it's duplicated from the previous templates, all the pre-made clauses and conditions are in there already. It's in there already, right? The Schedule A, agreement of person sell. The clauses and conditions from basic group templates are there already. But for example, I want to add some additions on the templates or clauses. Yeah, I can write whatever clauses there if I want. Like that. Okay. Then I can save it. And this will be my templates. And this will be my new template. So next time when I create my transaction kit, I don't need to apply the Office template. I can just apply my own templates here. Okay, so that's how to create your own templates, and also how to duplicate the templates provided by Base3 Group and uh, and make some changes to create your own templates there. Okay. So in the middle of the training, if you guys have any questions, you can turn on your microphone or just type in your questions in the chat box, and I will always be happy to answer questions here. Okay, next topic. Okay, how to generate your transaction documents and how to use Authentisign to send the documents to your client for electronic signings. So for example, I go back to the transaction kit I just created to purchase this property. So because I applied our templates, so in the forms, all the related documents are here already. Okay, so like I open agreement of purchase and sell, I can start input all the detailed information about the property. So the first 2 pages are very easy. The date of the contract, buyer's name, address of the property, the purchase price, the deposit amount, any additional schedules need to be attached, irrevocable date and time, final closing date and time, and what is included, what is not included, if there's any rental items, and then check on the schedules and insert whatever you want to input there. And after you have finished everything, then we save the form. And also we can do the buyer representative agreement, working with realtor and other forms at the same time. After we finish generate all the forms, we can click on red top dashboard to go back to the transaction dashboard page. And we can go to Authentisign page by click on go to signings. And we can click on add. Just create a random signing name, maybe the property address or whatever. And then you're gonna go to the Authentisign page. So the first step, we're gonna need to add participants on signers. So first we add ourselves. Make sure you select the right role on it. Like this time, I'm the COP salesperson. So make sure I click on COP salesperson. If you forgot to select the role of the signer, the system don't know where to put the initial boxes or the signature boxes for this signer. Okay. Right. And save and add another one, like add new ones, like buyer. Make sure you select the role for this person. Okay, save. And on the top, there's a set sending order button. Normally, we'll just keep it off, and both the signers will receive the signing documents at the same time, and they just sign their own parts, and the system gonna generate the final version of the signed documents. If you turn this on, then you can change the signing orders of each signing person and the reviewers. The first person have to finish signing or reviewing, then the second person gonna receive the signing documents. So most of the time we'll turn this off, okay? Second step is documents. We can add the documents or forms from my transaction, which means from the forms and documents I have under the transaction kits already. So for example, I need to add agreement of purchase and sell, also need to add working with realtor. I also wanna add the buyer representative agreement, and the listing have a Schedule B document. I already download to my own computer, and I can find it from my own computer. B from the listing side, and now all the documents needed is here. And then we go to the third step, tools. Then we start to review this electronic signing documents. Make sure everything is input correctly. Make sure all the initial and signature boxes are at the right place. And if you wanted to add additionals, like for example, the Schedule B documents, the buyer's name is missing, the seller's name is missing, the property address is missing. Okay, I can use the function under tools. There's a markup function under tools, says text box. So I can add a text box here and input buyer's name. Okay. I can also add another text box here, seller's name. I'll just put a name there, like Shawn. Example. And the address as well, the same way. Okay. So for example, I want to cross out some of the clauses from my document. For example, I have put so many clauses and conditions in there, right? So this conditions shows mortgage, right, conditions. So for example, my buyer is buying back cash, no mortgage needed. I can use the markup extract through function here. So click on extract through. So I can cross out this clause from the original documents. And then make sure the buyer agree with it. So select on the signing person, like buyer, and drag drag a initial box next to the extract through line. Okay, which means the buyer agree to take off this condition from the original document. Okay, and also like after we double check the documents, like here, it has an initial right here, which means the buyer representative agreement is longer than 6 months, right? But if the buyer representative agreement is shorter than 6 months, we don't need an initial here. So we just select on it and delete this initial box at here. And for example, like Schedule B documents, because this document is uploaded from my own computer, is not selected from the system directly. So the system don't know where the initial box or signature box need to be, right? So this time I need the buyer to initial on it. So I also select on the buyer's name and drag a initial box at the right place. Okay, so yeah, so that's the basic use of about how to set up Authentisign. So after everything been set up, on the right top, you can click on next and just send. So all the signers will receive the signing documents by email and they can finish everything there. Okay. Any questions regarding Authentisign right now? Okay. Okay. All right.
Sorry, can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Authentisign, we can continue to use it until when?
Forever. As long as Pastry Group are using transaction desk full package, then all of our agents can use Authentisign for free.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Shawn, I have a question. Just now, I haven't grasped what you said. Just how to make all the forms and documents together, just for sign. You know, forms and documents are two.
So back to the second step in Authentisign, it's called documents, right? Yeah. So in this page, we are actually adding the transaction documents here. For example, I would just delete everything we have here, remove file, I'll remove everything from here. So now it's empty, right? So it only have the signer here. It doesn't have any documents here. So now we click on add the documents or form. So we have three options. The first one is my transaction. Second one is upload, import. Third one is my file. Basically, we just need to use the first two functions. From my transaction, which is all the documents and forms under the transaction keys. Under the transaction keys, which means in the transaction keys. So this is the transaction kit. So here we can see forms and documents, right? So back to Authentisign. So the my transaction means all the documents in the forms and the documents. So I can just select those from the system directly. I don't need to upload those documents from my own computer. But if the documents is not under forms and documents, is in my own computer, like the Schedule B documents provided by the listing agent, right? I probably only have it on my computer at the moment, right? Then I can use this upload import functions here. So for example, under my transactions, I have already finished generate my transaction documents like agreement of purchase and sell, like working with realtor, like buyer representative agreement. Okay, so now I can select on those three, right? So now you can see the three documents being selected, right? And but I still need add additional documents like the Schedule B document is normally we can find the Schedule B documents on the listing information sheet. On top of the listing information sheet, there will always be attachments. Normally the listing agent will upload their schedules right here. So for example, I click on this. So this is the Schedule B document provided by the listing agent, right? And then you can just download this Schedule B document. Back to Authentisign, use upload import, drag that document here, or click on it and select where the document is. And now we can see the 4 documents up selected here, right? And then we go to tools to set up all the signing boxes and initial boxes. And if there's any clauses you want to strike through or highlight, or while we are generating the transaction documents, we forgot some parts, we can use text box to input those informations here. Okay.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So next, let's talk about how to use the new added system to upload listings, added listings, and change listing status and clone listings. So, this is the new added listing system, and I think starting from this month, the added system has been transferred from Stratus to ROM, and all the layout and all the pages are looking different. So a lot of our agents are having problem using this new system. So let me go through this a little bit. Okay, so first, after we log into MLS, right, and like I'm using Stratus. If you are using Matrix or ROM, then the product of how to go to added may be a little bit different. If I'm on Stratus, I can click on search properties on the top left. There's a added icon right here. I can click on added. Then the system gonna transfer me to the ROM added page. Okay. So if I'm adding a new listing, so I need to input everything step by step. So first I put the address. Yeah, it's better. And select your agent name. Okay. For sale, residential freehold, property type, detached, number 90. Name. So, present. Make sure all the mandatory section be filled up. There's a star on all the mandatory section there. New York. Municipality is mandatory. Community not mandatory. Postal code not mandatory. Okay. So after you input all the mandatory field, then we can click on create. And now we are on the draft page of this listing. Then we start to input everything on it, like the ARN number, the PIN number, communities, from on postal code, lot size, and zonings, like all the information like we used to do. Okay, the first one is location, amount and date, the listing price, the tax and tax year, and contract commencement date. Okay, this part, please be careful. Okay, so sometimes we may sign the listing agreement with the seller like a week or 2 weeks already, and we only got the time, or we only got all the information ready to upload the listing to MLS system by today, right? So so make sure you select today's date when you are upload the listing to MLS. If you select the previous date, it will be weird because when people seeing this listing, they're gonna feel like this listing is being on the market for a couple of days already, why there's no showing at all, why there's no offer at all, right? It's gonna be a little bit weird. So you can pre-edit the draft listings, but make sure before you submit the listing to MLS, just check the contract commencement date. You'd better change it to today's date before you click on submit. Okay. Expiration date, possession date, possession remarks, holdover date, seller's name and stuff. Interior, waterfront, interior, exterior, rooms details. Okay, and the rooms details. Remember, for the size of the room, you have to use meters here, okay? You have to input by meters here. There's no other options. Although while they're checking on the listing information sheet, the agent will have an option to see the size by meters or by inch. But while we are upload the listing, we only have one option, is insert by meters. Okay. Comments like remarks, extras, what is included, what is excluded, if there's any rental items, brokerage remarks, others. Okay, so this, so make sure you select the right salesperson under this. I know like there may be multiple agents using the same name in a certain brokerage. So like for example, we have two Kevin Wu here. One is Kevin Wu, one is Kevin Y Wu, right? So make sure you select the right person. Okay, if after you upload the listing, you check on listing information sheet and you found out that you select the wrong person, just contact our deals department to help you change for it. Okay. And all right, and also there will have options under others for okay, like this one says distribute to internet. Most of the case we will select on yes, Okay, if you don't select on yes for distribute to internet, like other third-party softwares like realtor.ca or uh, even on Toronto Real Estate Board's homepage, they the buyers, like the publics, they cannot see the listings on the internet. Same thing like display address on internet. Most of the time we select on yes. If you do not select on yes, then the property address won't be shown on the internet. Distribute to DDF and IDX. Most of the case we just select on yes. This you have to select on yes. If you do not select yes on DDF IDX, even broker bay cannot see this listing. So you cannot even set up your showing configuration, showing instruction on broker bay. So we have to select on yes on DDF IDX. Permission to contact listing brokerage to advise. Yeah, most of the case, yes. Or if you want to select no on this, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Open house. You can only input one open house time a time, right? You can only set for one day, like between like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can only put one open house date here. So after you did that open house, you can come back to the listing and update for the next open house date and time. Okay. But you can also make the note and the brokerage open house note right here. But still, like if people are searching on Toronto Real Estate Board's public website, if they select on if they have open house on a certain date, it will based on the information shown here. Okay. Photos. Yeah, you can upload maximum 40 photos here. Basically, each photo, the size under 2M should be fine. Okay. Attachments is where we upload all the Schedule Bs, disclosure of interest, floor plans if you have, and surveys if you have. You can upload those documents here, but at least you need to upload your Schedule B documents right here. Okay. After everything's done, we click on validate, and then we can click on save draft or submit the listing. The listing will be onto our system right away because I didn't input everything correctly. There's a lot of missing information here, so I cannot click on submit at the moment. But you guys should be okay about how to use this system. After we click on submit listings to MLS, the system is a bit slow right now. It's better that you wait for 10 or 30 minutes and then check on the MLS to see if the listing is there already, and also check on Broker Bay to see if the listing is there already. Because like Stratus we were using earlier, it was really quick. Like after we click on submit, we can see the listing right away, like within 3 or 5 minutes. But the new added system is a bit slow right now. So if you already upload the listing but you check it right away, you cannot see it, wait a little bit. Okay. Right. Any questions about how to submit a listing by added? Okay. So back to the homepage of added. So how to add it or change the listing status for my existing listings? Yeah, we'll find a listing from this group to show how to do that. All right. Okay, right here. So first we click on added listing. And we can input the listing number for our listing right here and click on search. Now the system already found your listing right here. If you want to change the listing detail information, you can click on added listing. Like I can change the room size. I can even change the price. I can change the comments, others. I can upload more photos. I can upload more attachments if I want. And then after changes, I can click on save. Then the save will be updated to MI system. So that's how to change the listing details. So if we wanted to change the listing status, so same thing, we go to edit listing, search my MS number. So at this point, please do not click on edit listings. On the left side, we can see there's a change status icon right here. So click on this, change status. And now select the status you want to change. And because I'm not really changing the status for this listing, so I will leave it here. So select the status you want to change here and choose the COP agent's name and brokerage address and process and save. Okay, that's how to change your listing status. How to upload the listing to MIS by clone listings. So first, we have to find the previous listing for the property. Like search unavailable, for sale, include artist listings. Let me find the listing first. So find the previous listing for this property. Okay. For example, I want to use this one. Okay, so I just copy their MS number. But make sure if you want a clone listing, the type of the listings has to be the same. Like this time we're doing free listing for sale. The previous one has to be listing for sale as well. You cannot like clone a listing for lease to listing for sale. It's not gonna work. So it has to be the same type. All right. So back to us. So we click on edit listing and input the previous MS number here and search it. Now we found the previous listing, and on the left side, we can click on clone listing. Anyone, doesn't matter. And then I can create. So now I'm in the dropped page for the clone listings. So all the information from the previous listing information sheet has been input here already, like the font size, the depth of the lot, the legal descriptions, address, exteriors, interiors, even like room details, something like others. And the photos declare everything, attachments declare everything, and also like a comments and amounts and date declare everything. So we just need to finish these parts, then we can save draft and upload the listings. So that will be that will save you a lot of time by using clone listing function from the add edit. Okay. All right. So the last topics. How to use transaction desk system to upload transaction documents to our deals department. So first, we go back to the transaction, the web form system. Okay, so we open the transaction dashboard we created for this transaction. For For example, I already sent the offer to the listing party and they agree with it. They sign it back and I already submit the deposit bank draft to the listing brokerage. Now the deal's done, right? I need to tell our deals department we have finished this transaction. So we will use this checklist item status. We also call this transaction desk to submit transaction documents to our deals department. So first we click on go to checklist and then we click on add and we select add checklist. The templates we provided is here already, like COP transaction for lease, COP transaction for buying, listing transaction leased, listing transaction sold, new listing document, pre-construction. For example, like this time we're doing COP transaction for buying, right? So we're gonna select on that and apply. Yes. The system gonna give you a list here directly, tells you what documents you need to submit, what time you need to submit the documents, if the documents is mandatory or optional to submit. On the right side of each document, we can click on attach. And they will have some basic functions like I can upload from device or computer. I can select from documents directly, like that. For example, we have everything on my computer right now. I can upload from my computer directly. Just select the random document. And now it shows the document has been submitted. And the name of the document will change to blue and we can click on it to review the documents here. Okay. The deals department will also receive a notification that someone has just reported the transaction document to the system. Please go there and check. They will use the same way to check on it. And if the document is fine, they're gonna click on approved. If there's missing signatures or wrong documents, for example, they're gonna click on rejected and send you an email asking for changes. Okay? So if we found out we submitted the wrong document, you can click on menu, remove the document from the queue and reattach the correct document again. Okay. We can also select transaction documents from document folders, transaction folders. As we can see, we have two documents here. One is called transaction summaries. One is called transaction. Both called transaction summaries. Let's go back to dashboard. Go to documents. Okay, I can add something on the documents here. For example, add a new document. For example, this one here. Okay, so this is the new document I uploaded to documents. So now I go back to dashboard. I go to checklist. So I can click on attach and I can select from documents. And now you can see the Schedule B documents I just uploaded to documents is here already. I can select on that and OK to submit documents there as well. Okay, so that's another way how to report transaction documents from the transaction folder directly. Okay. Mark it. So now it's submitted. Okay, so on the list, only the signed TRS, which is the trade record sheet. So this document is prepared by our deals department. All other documents are and the information is prepared by the agent. Okay, so after you report all other documents here, our deals department gonna send you an email with the trade record sheet of how much commission you are earning from the this transaction and how much we are deducting from your commissions this time, and you can send it back and attach the documents here. Okay. So that's how to report transaction documents to us. So if you don't know how to report transaction documents from transaction desk portal, you can also contact our deals department or just send everything to them by email, but it's not recommended. It will be better you submitted all the documents through the checklist item status through transaction desk. Okay. So that's basically everything for today's training. I will just leave a couple minutes for questions. If you have any questions, please turn on your microphone or type your questions in the chat box. Can we edit the templates to add forms or delete forms? Okay, so first question, can we edit the templates to add forms or delete forms? Yes, I think I already showed you guys how to do it. So on the web form system, go to setup, go to transaction templates, create your own templates or use our existing templates to copy or duplicate another one. Then at the bottom, you can find the new templates you just created. You cannot change or edit anything on the templates provided by the brokerage. Those are not able to change. Like for example, if I open this one, the system gonna show me you don't have any permission to change this templates because this template is provided by the brokerage. Okay, so you can, if you want to make change to this template, you have to copy it first and change it as your own templates. Okay, so we go to the templates we created and we go to forms. We can add forms here by selecting the form number or the name. We can also delete the forms here. Like I don't need this. I'll just delete it. Yeah, you can do, you can change that. Okay, Jay asked a question, how the initial comes automatically on Authentisign? Let's see, where's my Authentisign? Okay, so Authentisign. So because when we select the documents is from the web form system directly. So Authentisign knows where to put the signature box at. So the signature box will be there automatically. But for us to make sure the signature box and initial box can be put there automatically, while we are adding the signers, make sure you select the rows for each signers if you forgot to select the rows for the signer. And for example, I'll delete this one. So this person should be the COP salesperson, right? But I forgot to select the role on it. Like this buyer. Okay. I also forgot to select the role on it. Save it. Now you can see there's no initial box and signature box on the documents because the system doesn't know where to put it. So make sure you select on the right row of each signing person right here. COP salesperson. Save. This one is buyer. Save. Okay, now you can see the initial box right there again, right? Okay. Buyer information cannot save. So Lana asking a question says the buyer information cannot save every time. Okay, so on the web form page. So back to member dashboard. So there's a context function on the left side. So you can actually input your or save your buyer or seller or your client's contact information right here. So every time if you need to create a transaction for the existing clients, right, you can just select their contact information from contacts. So you don't need to input the buyer information like every time. If Webforms going to be replaced by, sorry, Webforms is, okay. The question is, if Webforms going to be replaced by SkySlope's forms at same point or soon? So Webforms are not gonna be replaced by anything. All the members who have a CREA and OREA membership, not just Toronto Real Estate Board membership, okay? So like you're from London Board, you're from Oakville Board, you also have CREA and OREA membership, right? You will be able to use Webforms for free at any time. This is provided by CREA, so Webform will be there all the time, okay? So SkySlope Forms is just another new electronic signing platform, as we can still use Authentisign. We don't need to know how to use SkySlope Forms. It's not necessary. And we tried SkySlope Forms. There are some problems about it because first, SkySlope Forms only cope with Toronto Real Estate Board. SkySlope Forms doesn't cope with other local boards such like Oakville Board, London Board, or Kitchener. They don't have access to those boards forms, right? So, you know, on Webforms, while we are doing transaction documents, if I want to download to add it on my computer, right? For example, I go to Forms, I open like agreement of person sale, right? So on the left top side, there's a file function. I can save, and I will have the function to save as PDF or save as editable PDF. On SkySlope Forms, you cannot save as editable PDF. You can only save as PDF. So after you save it, you cannot add it on your computer directly, but on Webforms, you can do that, right? Also, like on SkySlope Forms, it's more like you are doing the transaction documents and setting up the electronic signing at the same time. But on Webforms, you are generate your transaction document first, and after you save and finish all the transaction document, then you create electronic signings. So it will be more clear using Webforms. Is it able to use map search in ROM? So sorry, today we are not going to covering any topic on ROM except for add edit. If you want to know details about how to use the ROM system, there are two ways. So basically go to MIS system homepage, roll down a little bit. There will be a video center. Click on more videos here. Go to professional developments. And you can see ROM right here. So trainings. So the basic training for ROMs you can see from here. Okay, like getting started with ROM, how to do residential searching basics, or how to use ROM on your mobile device. Getting started with ROM webinar like that. You can check on those training videos there. You can also go to our HARP system, go to training, and roll down a little bit. There will be trap training videos. We can see the SkySlope Forms and digital signing training video right here. We can see the new added training right here, and ROM basics right here. So like this, ROM basics. Basic training videos for ROM. Next question. Could you please repeat how to Authentisign more than one form together and how to find exist as number? Sorry, didn't catch it. Okay. So back to electronic signings, back to Authentisign. So there are 3 steps we need to finish. First is signer, second is documents, third is tools, right? So the second step, documents. Like for example, I will just remove every file right now and redo it again. Okay, now we need to add documents or form. So we click on add documents or form, right? So I can see all the documents and form from my transaction kits here already. And if there's additional documents on my computer, I can upload those documents separately, like upload, import, okay? So in my transaction, like I need to add agreement of person sell. So on the right side of this form, I can click on add. And now this form being added, okay? If I have additional forms need to add, like 801, working with realtor, just click on add, okay? So you can sign the Authentisign electronic signing for just one form or just multiple form at the same time. Okay. And if you want to add additional documents from your own computer, you can select that from your computer. Okay. Now you can see I just add 3 documents and forms right here. You can change the like which one you want to put at the first page or which one the second page, like that. And how to find exist MLS number. Sorry, I couldn't get this question. What do you mean by how to find exist MLS number? The MLS number is on the listing information sheet, okay? So while we find a listing information sheet right here, right? The MLS number will be here, okay? That's how you find the MLS number for the listing, all right? Where do you get the room meters? Where do we get the room meters? Okay, if you're lucky, then you probably have the floor plan from the builder, and the builder have all the detailed measurements on the floor plan there. That's you're lucky, and you can just copy and paste everything, right? If you don't have it, you probably need to measure it by yourself. Okay, like you know where the family room is, right? You know where the kitchen is, you know where the bedroom is, right? Just measure it, right? Use your measuring tape or those laser measuring machine stuff like that. Save the last question. Save the listing drafts is 2 says ago, but today submit the listing. Why it shows DOM 3 days? How to avoid the correct DOM date? Okay. All right, I think I mentioned this. So I'll find the drafts I just created. Okay. All right. So if we are under drafts, under others, and other, right? No other. Oh, amounts and date. Oh, under amounts and date right here. Okay. There's a contract commencement date. You better put the date, the same date when you upload this listing to MLS before you click on submit. Okay. That's how you avoid that DOM 3 days on market already, right? So you don't want to do that because you saved the draft like 3 days ago, and by the time you already save a date on there, right? And now you finish everything, you want to submit the listing to MLS, right? Before you do that, come back to amounts and dates, check on the contract commencement date, make sure that's the same date you submit the listing to MLS, okay? After adding, next question, after adding the new listing to the MLS, where are you going to give the showing instructions like lockbox or showing time? Okay, All right, so there are two ways for you to do that. The first way is on the web forms. On the web forms, like the transaction kit we created for this listing, right? Under documents, there will be a document called showing instruction editable. Okay. So download this form to your local computer, input everything here, like MS number, property address, listing agent name, and all the showing instructions here. After you've done that, go to checklist item status. I forgot to add a checklist on this. Add checklist. This is a new listing document. Select on new listing document. Yes. All right. And you can upload your listing agreement, MS data information form, and also the showing instruction form. Make sure you upload that showing instruction form you just finished here. And our deals department and front desk is going to help you to set up the showing configurations and showing instructions on the broker-based system. That's the first way. Second way, if you know how to do it. So first, log into your broker-based system. You can log into MLS. On the homepage of MLS, there will be a broker-based icon. Click on it, and it will transfer you to the broker-based page directly, and you don't even need to log in. It will be logged in automatically. And after you on the broker-based page, because I'm using an administrative account, so the layout will be a little bit different. So on your page, you can see a dashboard on the left side, dashboard. Under dashboard, you can see my listings, and you can find your listing there. Like for example, I will open a random listing. Like for example, this is your listing. So you open that and go to added listing, added listing. Continue. And go to showing configurations, showing configuration. And you can input the same information on the showing instruction form on showing configurations on broker-based directly and save it. Like if they need to book the appointment in advance, maximum time they can stay in the property. If it's going to be auto confirm all showings, or the listing agent or the seller or the contacts need to confirm the appointment time, then the showing agent going to receive the confirmation or cancellation. And how to access to the property by lockbox or by key, where is the lockbox located at, and any comments you want to put, and if you want to add context to it, and what time is available to show the property, what time is not available to show the property. You can set up everything on BrokerBay. So after you upload the listing to MLS, then you can see the listing on BrokerBay directly, and you can set up your showing configurations here. Okay. Next question. How do we get seller to approve or sign the MLS information uploaded? We used to have the MLS information sheet signed before. Yes, we still use that MLS data information sheet. So back to Webforms, back to the dashboard of this transaction, go to Forms, because we applied our templates for this listing. So you can see there's a Toronto 290 MLS data information form, freehold for sale. We still have to finish this document and make sure the seller sign on it. So this shows you the same information as this like added listing drafts, the same information on the MS data information form, same information. Okay. So make sure you finish this form, and you can see at the bottom of each page it will have the seller's initial right here. Okay. Also ask your seller to sign this document. Okay, next question. edit listing rooms description, need put room meters, cannot put square footage. That's right. You can only put meters in it. Like, well, we're showing on this page, room details, length and width says meters. You can only put by meters here, no, not square footage. Yeah, not by feet, not by inch, not by any other type, only meters. Okay. Next question. Can we see open house data from Broker Bay MLS or only in Realtor.ca? Yes, we can see open house data from not Broker Bay, from MLS and Realtor.ca and others third-party softwares. For example, like I go to Toronto Real Estate Board's homepage, trreb.ca. Okay, search GTA listing. So I'm not logging in, okay? I'm just a public user right now, which means I'm just a potential buyer, maybe. On the left side, there's a filter or criteria section. Okay. Public open house. I can select on that. Have upcoming open house. It's gonna tell me like which property have upcoming open house. But this information is from the MLS system. So which means if the listing agent, when you upload the listing to MLS, I think should be on others. Okay, and the other, okay, there's a section called open house date and time. All right. If we put that information here, then people can see that open house information on Realtor.ca, also on Toronto Real Estate Board's homepage if they search by this public open house. Oh, open random one. Say, see, this one says open house Wednesday, June 21st, 11:30 to 1:30. Okay, so this will be the same information from the MLS. Like for example, I will see their MLS number. Give me 1 second. Let me find the MLS number on it. MLS number. Okay, now I'm on the listing information sheet of that random listing I just found, right? Interesting. Why this one doesn't have the? Okay, I will figure out this this question with oh yeah, it's on realtor.ca. Okay, all right. Yeah, basically, you can put the open house information on the listing and that gonna tells all third parties like realtor.ca and Toronto Real Estate Board homepage or some other third parties. There's an open house at that time. You can also just log into realtor.ca and input your open house information there. Like this listing agent doesn't put the open house information on the MLS, but he put the open house information on realtor.ca. So some other third parties also get the information directly from realtor.ca. So it's like different database. Okay, but either way works. So this question is gonna depends. Can we see open house data from Broker Bay MLS or only in realtor.ca? It will depends. If the listing agent put the open house information on MLS, which means you can find the open house information at anywhere. If the listing agent only put the open house information on realtor.ca, then you cannot see the open house information on the MLS. Okay.
Hey, 你好. Hi, Shawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so now with Realm, we don't have to go to that particular, I believe it was before we have to get on app or website to register the open house. Then they could pop up to all the, realtor.ca or somewhere else. Now we don't have to. As long as we put it in the Realm, it will go populated to everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying, right? Before you have to go through a procedure and to really register on, then it could go on other websites other than just put it in on my ads sheet, right?
No, even used to be like on Stratus, you don't need to go through a very specific status. Only like make sure you put the open house information on the listings, and also you select on share to DDF, ADX, third parties, and show property information on the internet. Then it will show to other third parties. It's not very difficult. Yeah, it's the same thing. Only they changed the platforms. Like it used to be Stratus to upload or added listings. Now they only use RUM. So only the layout change a little bit, and all the information you put, all the procedure, all the database are still the same. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Next question. Form 290 MLS information form cannot upload to MLS listings. That's right. So when we use Stratus to upload listings to MLS, so we can actually finish the MLS data information form first. And on the right top of this form, next to save and exit, there should be an option that says upload listings to MLS. And now this function has been canceled. I think they have some technical problems about it at the moment. Hopefully they may have the upload listing function back to this form shortly. I'm not quite sure, but for now, you have to input everything like twice. You have to input all the detailed like property information on the MLS data information form first, and then go to add added listings and input all the same information on added listings again and upload the listings. Sorry about that, but we'll see if TRAB or CREA gonna have this back to the system shortly. I'm not quite sure. Okay, next question. Can we print the added MLS upload and have seller sign instead in line with form 290? Avoid the inputting the data twice in form 290 and also add it. So for now, you basically need to do it twice. So basically, print out the 290 form or send the form to your client for electronic signature, and copy and paste everything from the 290 MLS data information form to ROM added, then submit listing to MLS. Basically, you have to do it twice right now. It's very hard for you to avoid doing it twice. Hopefully, Trap may fix this bug. Okay. Next question. Not go to add my profile to add open house. No. Not go to add my profile to add open house. Yeah. Add open house is add added listing to add open house. You mean added my profile is on the homepage of MLS, right? Then we go to manage my profile. You need to log in again. And the password for this is the default password is the first letter of your first name and your last name, if you haven't changed it before. Okay, and under this, I can change password, set up my Trap e-cards. You can set up your Trap e-cards so people can see your photos and contact informations on realtor.ca if you like to do that. And you can also change your profile here. Okay. So we can okay, you can, yeah, you're definitely right. Okay, so basically at open house, there are two ways to do that. So the first way is on the MLS on RUM, and the other, you can input the open house information right here. The second way, you can add that on the realtor.ca or add the open house information under my profile here. So basically the access is go to setting on the homepage, click on manage my profile, log in, and click on the homepage of profile, you can see open houses. If you have any listing here, your listing will be shown here, and you can add open house right here. Because I don't have any listing at the moment, so I'm unable to show you how to do that at this page, but I can only show you how to do that on the MLS RUM page at the moment. Okay. So basically, this profile open house information on under manage my profile is linked to realtor.ca directly. Like for example, I go to realtor.ca, realtor.ca, find a realtor name, just random name. Okay, so I'm finding one of the agent's name right here. You can see his photo is here, right? But if you check on your name, most of the case, you cannot see your photo here. If you wanted to show your photo or even your email address and phone number right here, you can go to homepage of MLS, go to setup on top, go to manage my profile and log in, go to my profile, edit it, and input the address and phone number, whatever you want to input it here. And go to the right top, upload e-card photos. You can, let me try it again. Upload e-card photo. It should work. I tried it by yesterday. I don't know what's going on today, but you can definitely check your e-card information here. And also upload your photos right there. So next time when you are checking on realtor.ca, you can see your photo there. And also every time if you are creating a CMA report or send a listing to your client, then your Trap e-card gonna show on the file as well. Okay. Okay, thank you. And that's all for today's training. So I believe this afternoon at 7 o'clock, we will have a training about Bay Street app in English. If you guys do have time, please follow that training as well, because that's a new system we are promoting to our agents right now. Okay, thanks everyone for attending the training today. And hope to share you another topic shortly next time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.